Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Vish, and this week is going to be a themed reading vlog. So it is Tuesday, June 1st. I've decided to start the vlog on June 1st because in June I'm participating in 3 readathons. So the first one is the Olympics readathon, the second one is Whatever-thon, and the third one is the Studio Ghibli readathon. I'm going to be focusing on the Olympics readathon because I am the team captain. I am Team Artemis. We're gonna win no matter what because I am dedicating the entire month of June to reading. So the theme for this reading vlog is completing a series. If you haven't seen my series update, hopefully it's gone up before this vlog. So my series update is gonna tell you like the series I've completed, the series I've DNF'd, the series that I'm ongoing, like I'm up to date with, but there's still more in the series, and series I've yet to finish. So all that information will be in that video. So I want to finish series. So for this week I've picked books that fit the prompts and also will come finish the series basically. So I picked these 3 books. Let's go through them one by one. So the first book is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, volume 4. This is a beautiful cover. So I have read volumes 1 to 3 and I only have the 4th one left because it just came out and I got this from the library. Next up I want to read for this week is Obsidio by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. This is the 3rd book in the Illuminae files. I read Illuminae and Gemina last year, I believe, and I thought they were good. I thought they were okay. The second one was okay. The first one was better. So I just want to finish this off just to see how it all ends. So the first book, Illuminae, follows Katie and Ezra, and the second book follows Hannah and Nick. So they're both like the same arching plot, but 2 different like set of characters and 2 different kind of plots. And the 3rd book brings all 4 characters together and the plot will like merge together. So in the first book, there's this evil company, I can't remember the name, there's this evil company trying to bomb this planet to hell because of some like mining resources, and they don't want anyone to know. So the people in the planet are trying to flee and this company is trying to chase them so that they, they don't get found out. That's the first book. The second book is the space station, and the evil company is taking that space station hostage because they don't want the ship full of refugees in the first book heading to the space station and then disappearing or escaping. So that evil company is taking that space station hostage. So the events of both books are going to be continued on in here because all the characters are coming together in here. And the last book of the week is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. This is the 2nd book in the Stranger Dreamer duology. If I finish this, I finish the duology, which is great. I read Stranger Dreamer at the end of 2019. I really love it. I love Laini Taylor's writing. It's so beautiful. It's so whimsical. It's great. I can't wait to revisit that writing style and the world. Stranger Dreamer basically follows Laszlo, who works at a library, and he gets invited to the city of Weep, which is a city that he's obsessed with. And the city of Weep used to be ruled by gods, and the gods were, I guess, massacred, including their children. And because of that, the name of the city disappeared, so they've now named it the City of Weep, because no one remembers what the city was called before. So I'm interested to see what happens because that cliffhanger in Stranger Dreamer was a lot. So these are the books for this week. It's a lot in terms of page count, but I remember reading Illuminae in like 3 days because of the mixed media format, so we'll see how I do with Obsidio. And Heartstopper is a graphic novel, so it shouldn't take me long. So let's get to reading.
shit you put me through. I can't believe I got to write 20 songs about you to make you just have a clue about the shit you put me through.
Hello.
Blooper.
I don't like this.
Blooper.
Blooper. Okay, anyway. Hello. I finished Heartstopper Volume 4. It took me not very long to read this, and I gave this 5 stars. It was so cute. I appreciated the mental health discussion that was in here. There was eating disorder, self-harm, and OCD rep in here. And I really enjoyed the discussion and how the characters researched and figured out how to approach someone that is dealing with that type of problem. And then also I learned a few things about mental health in general and how to cope with it. So I really appreciate this. I think this is my favorite volume so far from the 4 volumes. So just finished this. I do have a different book that I'm reading at the moment just because I couldn't finish it on Monday. So I'm going to be reading that later, and then after that I will start Obsidio. Hello. It is Wednesday, 2nd of June, and I thought I'd update you with Obsidio. So yesterday I read up to page 150. I'm now halfway through Obsidio. So I'm thinking of finishing this today. I don't know. We'll see. It's been a pretty quick read. I was reading it last night and then I remembered that the audiobook, at least people tell me that the audiobook is really, really good because it has like sound effects and like a full cast, which it does. And I saw that it was available in my library, so I borrowed it. And it has been really great so far. So my thoughts on Obsidio. I think I've said that I liked Illuminae, Gemina not so much. And I think now Obsidio might be my favorite from the 3. So with Obsidio, we're actually getting adults. Like the perspectives we're getting are from adults. So there's not much juvenile dialogue. I mean, there is, because we see the other 4 characters, but we're also following Asha and Reese, who are not teenagers and not kids, they're adults. So because of that, I am enjoying this much more. It's much more darker than the other 2. And there are jokes in here that are well placed that make me chuckle. And this is so much better than Illuminae and Gemma, and I'm so happy about it because I didn't want to like DNF the series because I like the premise. I like the whole politics and like the whole theme of the book. I really like it. But because of the dialogue, I really did not like it. But this one definitely saved it. And the stakes are so much higher as well. And I'm stressed. And things are getting really dark. And that's why I'm enjoying this. And that's why this is my favorite from the 3. So if I finish this today, I might start Muse of Nightmares tomorrow, which is great. It's ahead of schedule because I plan to read this for 3 days. But if I finish it today, that'd be great. But I don't know if that's going to happen because I have a different book that I am reading. And I have, I think, 100 pages for that. So we'll see what happens. And I will talk to you later. Hello. It is actually Friday now. And I finished Obsidio this morning. And I really enjoyed it. More so than Illuminae and Gemina, for sure. And I think I'm going to give this 4.25 stars. I'm pretty sure I'll give that rating. If I change it, I'll say it during my wrap up at the end of the vlog. As I mentioned before, like, I like this way more because there's more adults in here and the theme of it is very dark and the dialogue has improved because they were adults. And yeah, we do have Katie, Ezra, Hannah, Nick's perspective, but it wasn't as juvenile as the other 2. So I could definitely take it. However, one criticism that I have is that there's a lot of swearing here because they're adults and like we're following soldiers and they're like dark atmosphere and stuff like that. So there's a lot of swearing. But because this is a YA, it's bleeped out. And like even one page, you can see how many bleeps are there. So it's a bit annoying when you're trying to read and it's bleeped out. And also I listened to the audiobook while I was reading this, which we'll get to that in a moment. But when you listen to the audiobook, the narrators like not bleep it, but they're like, you know, that kind of thing. So I didn't really like that. Going back to the audiobook was phenomenal. It's a whole cast. There's like sound effects. It was just so cool. I wish I had the audiobooks for the other two. I think it would have enhanced my experience more. But I'm so glad I listened to the audiobook while I was reading this. So freaking cool. I would highly recommend you pick up the audiobook. It's so good. I think it's probably one of the best audiobooks I've ever listened to so far. So glad I read this. Finally finished the Illuminate trilogy. So glad to be like finishing a series. It's so satisfying. So now I'm going to pick up Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. I have a couple of hours before I have to go to work later. So I'm going to read as much as I can, go to work, have date night today because it's Friday. Once I have more thoughts about this, I'll come and update you and tell you what I think. But so far, from reading Strange the Dreamer, I am worried about a character that I really hated in Strange the Dreamer. Mina, if you know who I'm talking about, then you know. Sorry, Minya, not Mina. Minya. I hated her in Strange the Dreamer, and a lot of people have said that in Muse of Nightmares you learn why she is the way she is. And I'm excited to read about it because I love complex characters, because there's no such thing as just a black and white personality. Always a gray area. So I am excited to learn more about Minya and what's going to happen, because the ending of Strange the Dreamer was very cliffhangery. And I'm also excited for the romance. It was a very adorable romance in Strange the Dreamer. A bit insta-lovey, but it sort of worked for me. Like, it wasn't like I was completely into it, but I thought it was adorable. So I'm interested to see how that plays out in here as well. So, yeah, hello. It has been a while. It is now Wednesday, the next week, Wednesday. So I've just been really busy. I had work, I was visiting my mom, I had a lot of like menial things to do. So it's been a while. But I have been reading, but at a very slow pace. Also, don't mind me. It's really cold, and you'd think it's the middle of the night. No, it is 10 a.m. in the morning. It's just really gloomy and rainy, so my favorite type of weather. And it's also very cold because it's winter now, and I'm so happy about it. So this is going to be me constantly, because I love it. Okay, Muse of Nightmares update. I am now on page 300, so a little more than halfway. And I have thoughts. So this is very slow compared to Strange the Dreamer, and it's not a complaint per se, because I do love slow stories. So I'm just like, I'm appreciating the writing and how beautiful and lyrical it is. It's more darker than Strange the Dreamer, which is also another aspect that I really like. The plot, however, is not as, I guess, action-packed as Strange the Dreamer, because we're trying to find out certain things. And in here, the plot is very, very slow-moving. And with the character I mentioned in the beginning, Minya, that's essentially the person we're trying to focus on most of the story. The other part of the story, we're trying to figure out, like, about the history of the gods and what happened to them and the children, essentially. I'm still enjoying it. It's just not my favorite. I'm just enjoying like the writing style and like trying to figure out what's going on. And it's just really, really slow moving. I think a couple of chapters I was actually bored, sadly. But after those couple of chapters, it picked up a little bit. So it's okay. I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish this, but I will finish this. It's just not going to be in a week, obviously, because it's not Wednesday. It's been more than a week now for this vlog. I apologize. But this vlog is going to be books I finish for a series. So I'm going to finish this no matter how long it takes. Because it's so slow, I actually had 2 different books in between this book. I think I had an urge to read a romance, and I did. That was phenomenal. And then I read the novella that comes after that romance. So I read that too. That was also phenomenal. So yeah, I will update you when I have more thoughts, because like I said, It's very slow moving, so I don't have much thoughts on it, except it's really good, but also really slow, but also a bit boring. It's very mixed feelings kind of thing, you know? Okay, guys, I finally finished it. It is now Friday. I did not end up reading yesterday because I was just not in a great space, mental health wise, so I didn't read anything. But I finished it today, and I take back everything I said. I don't really remember what I said on Wednesday. I think I said it was not my favorite, and that is completely lie. So yes, there was a lull in the middle, like a couple of chapters. Yeah, sure, it was a bit boring. I was like, okay, can we move it along a little bit? That's fine. But the other half was just so freaking good. I love this. Like, I gave this 5 stars, like, no doubt. This is my favorite out of the two. Just because it has a darker tone and we explore like grief, vengeance, anger. Oh my god, so much anger. And that is explored between 2 different characters. And it was so interesting to see because we were focused on one character. And then later on we're like, oh my god, it's been replaced by a bigger one. So it's just so interesting to see how Laini Taylor writes about grief and anger, and obviously her writing is already so beautiful and she just portrayed that so vividly, and you feel all that. Whatever the characters are feeling, you feel that, and that's why I really love her writing style. She paints such a vivid picture, and it's so intense as well, like the grief and vengeance and anger. It's so intense. My neighbor just looked at me. I'm just holding a book on my shoulder. The one thing I will say, I'm not obsessed with any characters. I don't know why. I'm not in love with any characters. I think I talked about Minya a lot, and a lot of people loved her at the end of this. And for me, I don't love her, but I understood where she was coming from and why she did things the way she did it and why she did it. I understood that, but that doesn't mean I like her or love her. And I don't know, I am not in love with any characters in this. Probably Laszlo would be, I guess, my favorite, but I'm not like in love with him. But I'm in love with the story. I'm in love with everything about the story, the world, and the emotions the characters have, the magic system, the world building. It's just, it's all so whimsical and magical, but it's like a dark way, not like a light, airy, whimsical way, in a dark way, which I really, really love. If you haven't read this duology, I highly recommend it, especially for the writing at least. It's so freaking beautiful. I'm so glad I picked this up. This is so good. I don't know if it's one of my favorite series now, but I do really love this series. And I think it's not my favorite because I'm not in love with any of the characters, you know? But it's still a really good series. And that kind of brings us to the end of the vlog because that was the last book for this vlog. I have returned Heartstopper already to the library, so pretend it's here. So I finished Heartstopper Volume 4 first, and I gave that 5 stars. That was so good. And it's kind of like mental health rep as well. There's a lot of dark themes throughout all 3 books, I just realized, like right this second, because Heartstopper explores mental health, and I learned like some things about that and how to deal with it and how to deal with someone having a mental health issue. So love that. 5 stars. Can't wait for the next volume. The next one is Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, 3rd book to the Illuminae files. This one also had a darker tone to the other 2, and I really loved this more than the other 2. Oh yeah, that too, similarity. I loved all these 3 books better than its past books. That's so weird. Okay. And I think I gave this 4.25 stars if I'm not mistaken. If I am wrong, I'll put it somewhere on the screen, but I'm pretty sure I gave this 4.25 stars. And I just really enjoyed it. It was a good, really solid conclusion to the series. And I actually really liked Asha and Reese. Those are my 2 favorite characters because they're not the kids. They're actually adults, which is great. So yes, this was also a really good conclusion to the series. And lastly, again, Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor, 2nd book to the Strange the Dreamer duology. Also love this better than Strange the Dreamer. Also has really dark themes, as I said. Really, really loved this. So I think that was really a success. Like, I only did this because there's still more volumes for Heartstopper, but it's like completed for now. So I've completed 3 series in this vlog. I was gonna say in the past week, but that's not true. It's been 11 days, people. But at least I completed 3 series, which is great. So I think now my completed series is 10 instead of 8, I think. And then my series that I need to complete went from 15 to 13. Yes, and my ongoing series is still the same because Heartstopper is still ongoing. But these 2 are taken off the series I still need to complete list and moved on to the completed part. So that's great. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you love Muse of Nightmares like I do. If you've read the Illuminate Files, let me know what you think of Obsidio, because I've heard people not like Obsidio and a lot of people like Obsidio. So let me know. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Also, I'm really sorry if there's not like any life stuff in here. It's just because I don't have uni anymore. I'm barely working. I need to find a new job. But besides that, like, all I'm doing is just sitting on my bed and reading and watching booktube. That's literally all I'm doing, and that's really boring. So that's why there's no life stuff in here, because I'm not going out anywhere either. Even though I can, because it's normal in like Perth to go out and stuff. We don't have to wear a mask. Everyone's getting vaccinations and stuff. Like, it's fine. There are no cases here. I can go out, but I'm choosing not to. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and I hope you're having a good day, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!